Welcome to the lifestyle segment of the weekend show where we are diving into an issue that has sparked nationwide outrage. The recent 50% increase in telecom tariffs approved by the Nigerian Communications Commission. This is the first hike in nearly 11 years, and it comes at a time when Nigerians are already struggling with inflation, high fuel costs, and an overall increase in the cost of living. Joining me to have this conversation, we have Honorable Ejike Onyekalu, who is an APC elder statesman. Good morning, and thank you for joining us today. We also have joining us via Zoom, Benson Opa, who is the head of Information and Public Affairs, NLC. Good morning, sir. Thank you for joining us today.
Good morning.
All right, so I'll begin with you here, Honorable, here in the studio. So the NCC justified this tariff increase, as a way to sustain telecom services. Do you think that reason holds water, seeing as the realities Nigerians face now are not easy?
Thank you very much. Yes, you see, I will try as quick as possible to throw a bit more light to this so that we can get more understanding why this increase is necessary.
Yeah.
Though I know that the Nigerians are already going through a lot.
Yeah.
Yes, but I will tell us that no better time to implement any policy that will at least give us a bit facelift and as well our standard of living. Now hear this. If you follow me gradually, I will run this within, if I have up to 3 minutes, and I think I'll be done with this without being interjected. See, Nigerian government, when NCC presented this to the president and they look into it, and you agree with me that the government are not daft and they know the good that this will do, will cause to Nigerians if we look at it very critical. Okay, first of all, I would say that Nigerian government approved 50% increase in telecommunication tariff is necessary for sustaining telecom operations and improving in service quality. You are sometime now, Nigerian telecom sector has struggled with decline revenue, rising cost operations, or rising operational cost, and challenges in attracting investment for network expansion. The tariff increase will ensure continued investment in network upgrade and service reliability. When I look at it, I know when this landed, a lot of people receive it with different opinions and a lot of fun at it. Some even say that the Tinubu-led administration lack economic policy lack human face. That's the opinion. But I want to tell us, as far as this matter is concerned, I am resolute that the price hike will translate into tangible improvement, thereby addressing the issues of persistent network failure, which have led to substantial business losses. And it will also address infrastructure limitations, high cost spectrum, and outdated technologies still in use across Nigeria. This is it. And we will anticipate that the additional investment will go into network upgrading from 3G to 4G and the expansion of 5G coverage. Despite having 4G coverage, about 60% of Nigerian populations are not using mobile internet due to lack of smartphone or network instability, find it difficult to access data. I would dare to say this. Nigerian future economy rely on strong digital infrastructure. Why do I say this? Nigeria telecom sector contributed 13.5% in our GDP 2023, amounting to 33 trillion, if I may put. With GSMA project that will improve connectivity, you agree with me that there will be more millions of internet users and possibility of creating millions of jobs in 2028. Follow me gradually. See where I'm landing. This is it. I know that inflation already straining household incomes. Yes, and telecom high costs could further burden consumers. But the success of this price adjustment depend ultimately on Nigerian telecom operation or telecom operations, whether they will invest in network upgrade and whether NCC will ensure that consumers receive value for money. You know, before now, in as much as this I want to say will sound funny, if I thought it will sound funny, forgive me to digress a bit just to portray a very vital point. When the fuel hike hit the ground, a lot of people also, and that was the genesis of what is going on, the high cost of our day-to-day activities and our essential needs and so on and so on. But how have we sit down critically to look at the positive impact, aside from economics and the other way? Do you agree with me that before now, when fuel was sold about 100 to 198 naira respectively, most especially Nigerian youth are not stable. They travel from one state to another without reason. Once you have 10,000 in your pocket, you're out. Maybe somewhere you met on social media inviting you for a birthday party, interstate trip. The next thing you hear, Uniben student missing. The next news you hear, the missing person found at Badagry Express. What are you doing there? With some parts missing. What are you doing there? That's the fact. At least with this now, if someone is going to send you 50,000 just to lift you from here to another state, have you eaten first? You first of all feed yourself first.
Let's bring in Mr.
So,
Benson to join the conversation.
thank you very much.
Mr. Benson, can you hear me?
I can hear you very well, my sister. Thank
all
you
right,
very
all
much for
right.
the opportunity to be online. I've
Okay, so
listened attentively.
yes, I was going
Listen,
to ask if you were listening to our conversation, because I would like to hear your input on what Honorable just said, particularly because your union, when this was implemented, your union called for a boycott of telecom services. So what are your thoughts on what he said and the boycott so far?
Well, I've listened to him attentively. I've listened to his postulations on negative economics and the inversion of statistics. I find it amusing that it pleases his heart and soul that when our youth are unable to move, that imposes a discipline and reduces crime rate. I'd want him to go and check his statistics with the police. Even right here at FCT, they will tell him that crime rate has been growing. So punitive economic policies do not in any way reduce crime rates. That is the first I have to take on that. And his assertion that that this policy will attract investment on network expansion and quality of service. I would want us to look at history. What happened in the past? What has been the quality what has been the history of performance of the network operators in spite of the humongous money that they have been making? What has been their quality? What will now change suddenly? He talked about the telecom sector, subsector, being accountable or responsible for 13% of GDP. That is about 33 a trillion. That is a lot. How many people are employed in that subsector? And what was the investment value that brought it to this level? He talked about operational costs and all of that. But let me just explain this to you. Let me just say this to you. That the telecom sector or subsector has been making a kill over the years. I have said this and I'm going to say it again and again, that in those early days, 2000, 2001, when they came in, three of them, Glo being the last one, one of them was making more money than our first four banks put together. One, at that time, the teledensity was just about, teledensity or penetration was just about 10 to 13%, was certainly not more than 20%. Today, we have a situation whereby approximately 70 to 75% of the population use the services, the telecom services. That tells you the depth of penetration and how much money is being made at the moment. But the question I would like to ask is that, what were they doing with that money the time they were making that haste? What were they doing? What were they doing with that money? That is one question I'd like to ask. Are you aware of the fact that even presently, that one telecom operator makes in an hour what our first four banks make in a day or 2 days? Just an hour. At the moment, whatever. So isn't it time they started putting something back to this society? Coming to the issue of operational costs, I find that a little bit amusing. And this is the reason why. The telecom sector is not like the Maggi, Okpehe industry that every day you go by, you make and turn and sell. You have fixed costs. You have agreeably light operational costs. And we have since moved from, as for the fixed costs, we look at issues of fiber, base stations, and all of that. Those ones have been laid. What we face on, well, fairly daily basis would be the issues of light, energy. And we have since moved from generator-run base stations to solar-run base stations. So when he talks about operational costs, I find that as justifying evil. Okay. Now let us come to the real issues.
Okay, I would like to hear, yeah, that was a network issue, but hopefully he would join us join us shortly. Honorable, there's something he mentioned when it comes to, giving or providing quality services to Nigerians. A good number of Nigerians, myself included, would say these telecom operators do not provide quality service. There's always one issue or another. Even with this hike, which you are justifying, just this week alone, this past week, there were so many complaints online. Because of we're having this conversation, I kept following, different, complaints that I was seeing on all four major networks. So what good quality are you talking about when it comes to justifying this hike?
No, thank you very much. Most times NLC staff, I don't know why they're always this aggressive. Why? Because sometimes when they are making some utterances, I remember 2019 when I had my with Ayuba Waba, who was their former chairman, and they just done that. But the fact is that I am not here to make case, neither am I holding brief for the telecom sector. Hear this. Even me seated here, I'm also affected in so many ways. But if this 50% increase they're asking for has been given to them, this is where we are no longer going to hold Tinubu-led administration accountable for that. NCC should ensure, just like what I said, you agree with it before now, you recharge 100 naira and trying to make, you're expecting to make an hour call and thereabout, the call is not selling through. Then tell me, what frustration do you know the kind of frustration, as in how frustrated it can be? But the fact is that if this increase is aimed at resolving, just what, like I said, if it is aimed at resolving these network failures, persistent network failures, which are led to substantial business losses, so many things, some people lost their life because they could not get through to help, someone who can lend help to them to sustain, and all of that. These are costs. In fact, I am not here to say that, yes, telecom sector, they are really giving out what it is. I also mentioned it, that 60% of Nigerian population are not using mobile internet, either due to lack of smartphone or network instability, finding difficulties in accessing data. That is it. You could be in your house now trying to use data for one thing very important. I can't have it. But if this 50% increase will solve this problem, then it's a welcome idea. If you can put on 1,000 and you get the value for your money, then why are we complaining? This is the thing that I say that government look into. Now they have done this. Okay, you are saying that, okay, you are complaining, you are having a decline revenue, rising cost of rising operational costs. Those are your complaints. This is why all these are not stable. Network are being failed every now and then. Then, okay, fine. Given this, will this solve the problem? Yes, and that is it. So if we can possibly say, okay, yeah, give value for our services, then why complain?
In a situation where we don't get value, even with this increase.
This is where the point. Even as I seated here now, believe you me, if I finish from here now, my own access control, I may drag them to court. I may sue them for causing me a lot of pains. Why? Because the thing that are supposed to transact, they deny me that access. I wasn't having network. A lot of people are complaining. Only those that are close to me can call my mobile home, my home line. Then I can pick. What if I'm not at home? These are the things. We are also pained in this. But what I am saying here, if the situation whereby this 50% has been approved and yet we are still facing this network failure, then NCC, Nigeria Communication Commission, or if possible, FCCPC, Federal Competition and Customer Protection Commission, should come in as well to make sure that such a thing doesn't happen. What are you doing with the 50%? You heard me when I said that the success of this price adjustment depend ultimately, if you can hear me, well, I know it doesn't pick that aspect, you couldn't pick that aspect, depend ultimately on telecom operators. If they will invest in network upgrading, what are we saying? If they can invest in network upgrade and we are getting a stable service, then then it's worth it. You pay for it and you got that service and you are not complaining, then life keep moving. I think this is exactly where federal government saw the need. Okay, you have complained. What do you want me to do to solve this problem? This is what you want me to do. Okay, I've done it. Let the problem be solved. So we cannot discuss that if we look at this, we will give like 30 to 60 days or 90 days that this problem did not solve. NCC, we should come and answer. They should be able to say, okay, why this thing? This is what you asked us to do, and we have done it. So why are my people not getting the value? Why are the consumer not getting the value? You cannot just increase inflation, or because you want to have a potty belly, or because you want to live large, in expense of the less privileged or poor Nigerians who are still struggling with other inflations. Get this point with me. So I personally, I'm not making case for them, neither am I holding brief for them. I'm also saying that the need for this increase is necessary. You say this is what you want, I've given it to you. That is what the government saw. Okay, stabilize everything so that call can set through, you can have access to data at where, then use it at where. And that is it. If they fail to do so, then NCC should come and answer. It's
But do
very
you
simple.
think this is the right time for them to, implement this, seeing as the high cost of living, inflation? In fact, the whole economy is,
Yes, I
for
agree.
lack of a better word,
Yes.
crashing. So,
Thank you very much, my dear. What I'm saying in essence is this. There is no better time. No matter the time you implement anything that's going to somehow constrain one or two or add burden to one or two, different people will different find out it. Stitch in time, they say, save nice. Procrastination is just a step of time. So there's no better time. When it is happening, okay, you identify with it, then do it. We can roll together with it and get this out. What am I even
do you think you're speaking from a place of privilege, seeing as a good number of Nigerians are not able to even feed?
No. I am not speaking from a place of privilege. No. Like I said, I'm also affected. Trust me. You just heard me say, if possible, I will be taking my own access control. I'll be suing them for even at this 50% increase. Yet, I wouldn't want to mention the network. Yet, they are still not stable. Yet, they are still frustrating consumers. They are still frustrating their subscribers. So, why of what use? So, I am not speaking from the. Everybody needs telecommunication. Just as someone who can recharge 100 naira and communicate emergency, you need it. Understand? It doesn't matter whether you can be able to recharge 1 million or 1,000 or that about being privileged. No. But if you can be able to recharge 100 and you get the value of that 100, then it solves it. If you can't, if you think, okay, there's no longer a recharge card of 100 in the market or 200 in the market, we start looking at that. Why would you scrape it off? What about the less privileged who cannot afford 500 upward? Why not bring it down? At least that 100 naira is still there. For if you can get 100, even if you 1 or 2 minutes, you can give to, but you communicated, value to that, and what you wanted to achieve, you achieved it, then that is it. We are completely making progress in this. I saw this. That's why I used that when the fuel price. I said that Nigeria. I'm not saying because of that. He can also know what I'm talking about, because okay now at least our security agents are now combating internal crime, not external. Every time you are flying, you are going out on transit, like from where Uniben student traveling to go and participate in a in birthday you met online, or because you can, or it is very accessible. No, I'm not saying because I am maybe most of are privileged to know, but at least let us look at some certain things, the value of this and the positive part of it, that these policies can help to contain. If it doesn't happen to you, maybe you are able to have a good head to sit at. What about those who their head are? You understand my point? So that is it. So wherever you see good, wherever you see evil, if you look deep inward, you can still find small good out of it. So I am leveraging on the good of this increase. What is going to do? We still have the charge card of 100 now. Even if it's a minute, you can be able to get with it, but communicate. Let there be easy access. Let there be set through.
Let Mr. Benson
That's it.
come back to join in on the conversation. Hi, Mr. Benson. Can you hear us? Okay. It seems
there's a loss. Network.
It seems the situation we're talking about is now affecting him when it comes to bad services from network providers, unfortunately. So because of time, we'll have to wrap up here. But moving forward now, what are we to expect? Should we, as Nigerians, hold on and see how the network goes? Will it be good? Will the quality improve in the next 3 months before we complain? Is that what you're saying?
That's exactly what I'm
or
saying.
You're saying...
No, I am saying that we should at least be patient. Let's give them... This just been implemented. Let's just give them 60 to 90 days, working days, and see if there will be a difference. If there's no difference, then we'll have every reason to rush in, and me personally, I can even sponsor the campaign to make sure that NCC do the right thing. And I'm using this to say, in fact, personally, I am admonishing Tinubu-led administration. I am admonishing his administration, to prioritize affordability and faster infrastructure deployment to avoid falling further behind in global digital economy. This is it. I am just telling off from the womb of the truth. No matter how any other person want to tweet it just to suit Nigerians and that, but I am not. I am an elder statesman. In any time I sit, I'm here to communicate the basic, and I know that that's what this platform is, to communicate the truth. I cannot paint it enough for me to look good, and I know that I'm misleading my followers or people that are listening to me. No. The fact is that this is necessary. I know that, like I said, I know it is already, the inflation already, straining household incomes. And the high telecom cost could further burden the consumers. I understand that. But the truth is that if possible that they can stabilize the network, give us service liability, and we can be able to say that yes, we have service quality. I'll charge 100 naira. I can call for help and I will get help. I'm good. It serves the purpose. And I think this is why the Nigerian government look and say, okay, fine, let's do this. At least let's stop this complaint of I'm calling you, I can't get through. Okay, look at him now.
Okay,
We're supposed
yes,
to get him now.
Mr. Benson, I think he's
Okay,
back.
if he's back,
Yes.
thank you. The same network issue.
Unfortunately.
I have been back.
Okay,
I
yes,
should be
all
able
right.
to make my own position.
Yes, I would like
Yes,
to actually
and-
hear from you because we've been having like a really
Yes.
long conversation here
Yes,
as well.
Let me talk now. It's okay. Let me talk. Let me
Okay.
talk. It's this is a case of corporate greed, aided and abetted by a regulator, the NCC, and the NCC should be ashamed of its complicity in this matter. Common business logic flowing from the perspective of the volume determining the price of unit. We tell you that Nigeria is over 200 million. Nigeria is among the first 4 top markets in the world, okay? And our rates here should even be cheaper than they are at the moment, let alone a whopping 50% a tariff hike. It does not make any sense. We're not talking about 5%, we're not talking about 3%, we're at 50%. So that does not make any business meaning. They can't do it. In any Western capital, there'll be blood on the street or they'll be shut down. So he's begging the question by saying that, that the more Nigerians are punished, that the more, there'll be improved services. For goodness sake, let us take this simple philosophy from Ibn Khaldun, a renowned economist. You see, Ibn Khaldun says, when taxes are low, more people pay. I want to tell him, let them jack up to the 50 or 100%. Let's see how many people are going to use the telecoms. People are going to prioritize their needs, food, shelter, and whatever. After all, when did this mobile thing start? Just about 2 decades ago. We lived our lives, and we could return to that. But let us also take this in a holistic context. We are being bombarded from left, right, and center with taxes. We had the energy one, 250%. The NEC didn't do anything about that. NEC was a collaborator and still remains a collaborator. We now have, in fact, at the moment, it is being muted that that we might have additional 65%. Ask yourself the impact of that hike on businesses and on Nigerians. How many Nigerians today are able to put on their lights in their sitting rooms, let alone putting on appliances? How many businesses have wound up because of that insane tariff hike? We have come to, the telecoms. Same thing is going to happen. We have moved to ATM. Any moment from now, you withdraw money, certain volume, you are going to pay a certain amount of money. So we are being buffeted from everywhere. Taxes. And ask yourself, am I richer today than yesterday? If the answer is that you are poorer. So what government is doing is that government is taxing poverty and not prosperity. And how will taxing poverty lift the economy of this country? How will it help you and I? The country will simply shrink. It will simply shrink until it breaks into powder, because Nigerians are getting increasingly poor and poorer and poorer and poorer by the day. What the telecoms operators want is simply to take more money. Everybody is raiding the average Nigerian. Take as much as you can, milk them, and run away. Okay? So they will do that, and when there is nothing more left to take, they will run away, they will go away. Because we need to ask at this point in time, what did they do with what they made that time? Of course, they took it out. They salted it away. So this is a continuation of tyranny. You remember that they were charging us per minute. It was Glo, an indigenous company that broke that tyranny. Say, no, charge people per second. Now, what do they offer you? In advanced countries, there are other advantages, even without any credit on your phone. You could make phone calls when needed. Here, with extra credit in your phone, you can't make a call. You are in trouble in your house, you can't make a call. You are stranded on the road, you can't make a call. You're having a business discussion, you can't make a call. What are we talking about? For how long? How long will it take for them to improve their services? So I'm afraid to say my co-guest has been begging the issue, and he has been arguing in favor of the oppressor. He has been speaking from a position of privilege, and that is objectionable, unacceptable to us and Nigerians. And this will have to come to a stop, because this is not right. This is tyranny. Okay? Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Benson.
All right. Okay.
So would you like to respond to that?
Yes. I will.
Okay,
I will
please,
respond to that.
in 1 minute, just
yes,
to that.
a
Thank
minute.
you.
You see, when I heard him talking, it's just that we're almost in the same page, but agreeing with the increase is the problem here. I agree with the increase, for I saw the positive impact. He said that you are in a situation, a can't call it. It's not the same network issue we are talking about. If you have like 100 naira, do we have any recharge card? Okay, have they scrap off 100 and 200 naira recharge card? Is it not still in existence? If you can be able to recharge 100 naira previously before the increase, and you are getting failed services, and not the increase, don't give failed services. That is just what we are asking. I'm not holding brief anybody. He's not just getting it right with me. I'm not speaking from the privilege perspective. No. I am speaking the mind of Nigerians, and I'm saying that this is it. For the fact that the timing, okay, good and fine. Yes, Nigerians are already going through a lot at the moment, but I tell us something. If we still wait, at what time is it better to implement this? At what time?
All right, we'll leave it there. Thank you so
very
much. Thank you, Honorable, for joining us. And thank you to Mr. Benson also for joining in on this conversation. I would like it to go on because it's quite interesting, but due to time, we have to end the segment here. So that's it for the lifestyle segment. We have more coming to you on the weekend show. To stay with us.